chat. I don't see you. That's a lie. I do see you actually. Hold up. You can't see me. Ah, nice. Hi. Yeah, I'm not doing Limbus Company tonight. Tragic as that may be. But I'm gonna sit here and shut your ear off for a bit. YouTube is not allowing me to see YouTube chat for some odd, confounded reason. Hold on, let me see if I can pull you guys up somewhere else. Just to make sure I don't miss anything. There we go. I can now see YouTube chat. Cool. Anyways, yeah, how are y'all doing? I'm doing alright. But the music's really loud. Oh, there we go. It's a little less loud on the stream. It's still pretty loud on my end. But you know, it's fine. So anyways, yeah, I should probably start this day off, or stream off, with a little bit of a explanation on why I named it the various thing that I did in the thumbnail included. So I woke up this morning, right? Just kind of like being myself, you know, existing. I was like, I wonder what I should make for breakfast, and we had some leftover chicken and like some vegetables. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make something with that. I was like, I kind of want something light. And it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go look for some, like, instant rice, right? Usually we have some laying around. Particular day, we're out. We don't have any instant rice. So I'm just sitting there going, well, fuck, what am I gonna use then? Because it's gonna be a little weird. I could have just had the vegetables and chicken. And in fact, I probably should have just done that, right? Just some vegetables and chicken for breakfast. Kind of crazy, but you know, whatever. It's fine either way. But even outside of that, I was like, you know, why don't I take some of these like instant noodles that we recently got around here, right? Now I'm like, I don't really just want to have it with the sauce packet, 'cause the sauce packet, it's really weird because it's like, it's a higher dense calorie like instant noodles than like, you know, your typical instant ramen. But like, it doesn't give you as much flavor. But I was like, okay, well, why don't I try like making it, right? And my poor ass attempt ended a huge failure. Because it was something that needed a lot more time to cook, considering the fact a lot of it was me trying to make a broth in the matter of like a couple of minutes, and then letting it soak in for like not even 10 minutes. So there's that one fail up there, is making a weird mishmash of like some broth that includes like some seasonings like onion powder, garlic powder, some parsley, pepper flakes, red pepper flakes specifically, and process in making that was kind of a, like, it's not, I don't think it sounds that bad, but I did use like, let's see, I tried to use some like soy sauce in there, so I just put it in there with like the I guess what you'd call the water. I left it in there to cook for like, I microwaved it. I effectively tried to do fast by like cooking essentially, right? So that ended up in huge failure. There's a big old sloppy failure there. But, you know, other than that, that wasn't too bad, right? I will say, though, that it came out way shittier. Like, the noodles were obviously never meant to be, like, microwaved like that. And, I wasn't expecting this, because most instant, you know, noodles that I cook, I, you know, a lot of the time when I was younger, I microwaved them, and, you know, nothing came out of them bad, you know? You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you know, well, let me go through my emotions real quick. You know, you put it in there, right? Yeah, people have microwaved instant ramen before, you know, like a. Hold on, let me look up the brand. Yeah, here. Let me see this image real quick. Yeah, everyone's like had this kind of fucking instant do you ever save an image file to a folder and you just can't fucking find it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, like this right here. Like, everyone's had like this type of like instant noodle before, right? Like, I'm not crazy. You guys would microwave this too. Alright? Some people microwave this. I'm pointing to the wrong direction. This, yeah. Like, I remember as a kid, like, we always used to, like, microwave this. So, like, it's not too crazy that I microwaved it, right? Either or. I think that it's perfectly fine if I microwaved it then. I'll hear no such poppycock about not microwaving your instant noodles. I don't believe you. You're lying to me, and I will not have that. But, yeah. But, like, I guess the main takeaway is that these are not the greatest, like, instant noodles that I've ever seen, nor, consumed, unfortunately. And, breakfast ended up kind of coming out like a weird, like, brownish hodgepodge of, like, a random sorts of vegetables, like green beans, green beans? Hold on. I think it's green peas. It's not green. Oh yeah, it is green peas. Right, green beans. Those are green beans. I've been calling green peas green beans for the longest time in my life, and it is now today of God's given year 2025 that I have decided to finally learn what the fuck the difference is. Yay. Anyways, besides my earth-shattering realization that I have been calling it the wrong thing for over 20 years of my life, main important thing is that it wasn't that awful, but it took a bit for me to get through. But you know, that's the life we live in. Like, so, can I talk about like the image I used? Hello there, Souls Flow. I just got done talking about my story about my messed up breakfast earlier today. Let's say, long story short, it ended not as bad as you would think, not as good as you had wanted. But yeah, just like, boy oh boy. Also, today made the realization that I've been calling green peas green beans, and then been very confused when my mom says, why are you talking about like green beans? You aren't green beans. And I go, you're calling them green beans. Oh wait, did I get it from her? I think I got it from her. Hey yo, that's crazy. That is genuinely kind of nutty. Huh. I just have to blame my mom for that. Anyways. But yeah, like... my mage from Final Fantasy games. Unfortunately, I don't plan to save one. Oh, but I have a little like. Thank you. To answer your question, it is modeled after a black mage from Final Fantasy. This is true. But I hope you have a wonderful night, though. It was fun. I appreciate any likes and drop-bys, as short as they are. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, Souls Flow. But, yeah, like, that shit's kind of funny to me that I figured that out tonight. Damn. Just like, this is the connection, you know? But other than that, you know, I hope... I was thinking about this, right? Sorry. Something in my back of my throat. Yeah. But like it's something along the lines where it's like I didn't know if I wanted to add. It's what you typically do to mess up like food or breakfasts or something like that. Or it's like, hey, I'm gonna add in a little bit of this, and then it's like, oh well, turns out it's too much. Now my breakfast has been tarnished by the fact that I'm horrendously added an element that did not need to be added, and it made it 10 times complicated. So there is that. But now all well that ends well, I suppose. But yeah, I do wonder because I will say this. I've had a recent influx of a lot of people hoping for more Limbus content. And unfortunately, since Limbus is maintenance right now, that's not happening for tonight. But you know, that's fine. I will say that I've been thinking about it, and it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be always. How do I say this? I don't know if I'm just only gonna stream like Project Moon stuff. Well, I know I'm not gonna only stream Project Moon stuff. I do plan on doing more, but I don't know when. I do know that I do have planned like going through Library of Ruina sometime down in the future, and obviously with more Kanto stuff coming in the future, especially with Kanto 8. I'm still deciding how I'm gonna cover that. You know what's really weird about this VTuber model I have? Just off topic real quick. I'm touching my chin right now. It does not look like I'm touching my chin. It's like my face is like actually like 5 feet away. Hold on. Will that do better? No. Oh well. You guys can understand. But anywho. Can you give me a quick moment? Remember, people, hydrate. It is good to drink water. Stay hydrated because you are also made of water. Anyways. I guess that's not the only thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about that messed up picture of food that I used on the thumbnail. Like, hold on. Because, like, it was genuinely, like, it's so weird, and I don't know how to explain it. And I'm gonna see if I can find it. If not, I'm just gonna load up the fucking thumbnail. I don't know if I actually did save it. I just copied and pasted it. In that case, here, hold on. I'm gonna go grab it real quick, because I need to talk about it for a brief moment. Because it does bug me a little bit. Let's see. Why is it being a pain in my ass to find it? So let me boot it up real quick. So, like, here it is. Like, it looks so weird, because it looks like an old, like, school cafeteria, like, pizza, right? But it's, like, not necessarily that. I just have instant ramen on the side of the video. I did not realize that was there still. Oh my god. That is quite hilarious, actually. Okay, like this right here. What in the heck is like? The thing is, right? It's like, Joshua, this is obviously a like school cafeteria pizza, but I go, but like my school cafeteria, you can still see the sauce. Where's the sauce? Is it just like cheese on pizza bread with some sausage on it? Like, what's going on here? Like, here, I'll actually look up like school cafeteria pizza. I actually have a wild story to share about my high school's cafeteria cook, because it was kind of crazy. Yeah, like I'm looking at some of these. Okay, yeah, like some of these don't actually fit. Like let's just go sausage. Wait, that's no way. Where's the sauce? Oh, it's breakfast. It's breakfast. So does that not have any sauce then? At that point, what is like separating it from just calling it sauce and cheese on a piece of bread? There's no sauce on it, no? You might use cheese sauce. Yeah, I'm looking at other stuff. Oh, dude, that looks nasty. I don't know. There's something about that. I just saw a TikTok of like someone who cooked it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling that. That presentation's not great, right? I'm one of those eaters where it's like, I'm not picky, but you gotta not present it in a way that's gonna make me go, I don't know, I feel like I shouldn't eat that. If you catch my drift. Like, you can be like, here's the most healthiest thing ever, and if it like, you know, if it like squirts out and it's all like brown and smelly, it's like, I don't know about this, man. Like, this kind of looks like something that should be not consumable by like the human body. And I'm not talking about like, oh, I don't like my onions. I'm talking about like, dude, this smells horrendous. This is an assault to my senses, right? And that's kind of what it feels like a bit here. I don't know. It's not the worst thing. Actually, hold on. Let me see. You know what? I kind of want to do something a bit funny. So, you know what? Let's talk about cafeteria food real quick. I kind of want to have a conversation about it. I know this is the riveting conversation you hear from the guy who plays Limbus Company a little bit on stream, but might as well, right? I feel like talking my ass off a little bit. Yeah, let me make sure that I have like, I should really get a playlist going. Let me modify the song that's playing a little bit. Right, I guess we'll stick with Limbus music. Nah, I'm not feeling this one. So very loud. No, we'll stick with it, sure. So I'm not insane, right? Like some of these are like kind of right. Let's look up like horrible. Let's just type in school cafeteria horrors. You know, and I think I'm getting the results that I didn't want. That is the saddest pizza I've ever seen, but like, it doesn't look half bad, right? Why did I get a Discord notification? Oh, someone pinged me. Who the fuck summoned me? Right? Like, hold on, no, wait. Like, here, look at this. Like, hold on, let me, like... Let me actually find a way to, like, show this off. That's not it. Let me find it. But yeah, like this looks so messed up. That's so messed up. I'm exaggerating it a bit. Why does it look so messed up? Hold up. There we go. There we go. Transform, fit to screen. There we go. Why is it below me? Hold on. Like, that doesn't look too bad there, right? Like, I'm not insane for saying that, right? Like, there it doesn't look too bad. It's just like, I wonder what's up with, like... Hold on. Is that orange juice? Damn. Too messed up. The pizza looks fine, actually. It looks edible. Okay, hold up. Nah, this one looks kind of fucked up. Like, look at that. Hold on. Let me move me to the side here. Like, I kind of get it. It doesn't look the worst, but it doesn't look like the best. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like the taco meat, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of ground beef in general, but like, yeah, whatever. You know, I don't crap on ground beef because I just don't dis or hate it. I just had too much of it in my life, man. You get me? Anywho. But like, yeah, I guess I was kind of silly. You see, some of these are like, nah, that looks great. Like, some of these cafeteria meals look great. Okay, this one is like... This one's like, yeah, actually, hold up. Isn't that fantastic? Those are great. Like, what's going on there, man? Like... I don't get it. This is some weird shit, man. I'm not too into like criticizing food too harshly, but like I look at this and I'm go, damn, we should be really giving more money to our children, shouldn't we? And like schools in general. Anyways, that's the bit of the food tangent that I will be going off of now. Anyways, enough about me talking about food in general. I wanted to talk a bit about some more stuff unrelated to food, though. I do know that I do want to plan to post a channel update to a channel update video. Because I started this year off with kind of a goal of doing things for this channel and going in a certain direction, right? And the direction's kind of like been a little bit like all over the place. You know, I wish I could animate a little bit better, but this is what I got right now. So we'll have to make do, I suppose. But there is a part of me that like really wants to like, how do I say this? Kind of encapsulate what I'm gonna do going forward a little bit better. Or not going forward. I should say like what the plans have necessarily. Not plans. How do I say this? Because I came in going, I'm gonna go do YouTube stuff and stream stuff for fun, right? And I know a lot of people might have came for like, you know, 3D animations that I did on my YouTube shorts. If you're all interested, they're over there. If you want to go check them out real quick, they're very short. A lot of them were kind of like animation tests, unfortunately, nothing too spectacular. But it is the thing where it's like I kind of want to sit and like chat the ear off a bit more scripted, so I'm not, you know, as I'm right now going all over the place, then talk about how this cafeteria food looks like, you know, a little bit weird, like how we should probably not be feeding this to children. But besides the point, I do definitely think that I did have a bit of a worry that it's like I'm kind of fear of being only the Limbus company guy a little bit, which I'm not like pseudo massively against, but like I do hope that other people take the time to check out other stuff that I do, if you're willing. And also like, and not to say that I like, how do I say this, so sometimes when a content creator streamer they get big on something, and then it's like some of them will have like a bit of a crash out of sorts when like they're trying to branch out of stuff. For me, I don't necessarily, how do I say this? I think it's perfectly within the viewer's reason to be like, I'm not interested in them doing this content, and I'm just not going to look there or watch. I'll only watch, you know, I'll only watch this person when they're doing this. That's totally valid. And that's kind of like how that is. But like I will say that like I do want to still do some more like Project Moon stuff. Again, I've said earlier in the stream, I really want to do like I keep wanting to call it Project Ruina, but it's not called that. It's Library of Ruina. Why do I keep calling it that? And the main reason why I want to do it is one, I've already bought the game. I have monetary reason to play the video game. When I put money on the video game, it's like I'm playing this. So Project Ruina LP is for sure going to happen sometime soon. Or not soon. I should not specify soon. There is a possibility that I won't get the Project Library of Ruina. I swear to God, Project Moon's name will mess that up for me for some ungodly reason. Library of Ruina playthrough will be in the future. I don't know when, but you know, expect that, and I'll let everyone know. Additionally, there is other games that aren't Project Moon that I do want to play. Now, I guess the question is, would people want to watch that? It's fine if you don't or don't. You know, my stuff here is for funsies, and I like seeing people in chat. And if you come over and it's like, I just kind of feel like listening to this, you know, goober kind of ramble off his goofiness in my general vicinity while I do something, that's also valid too. I appreciate that. Because I think my most defining trait as an individual is that I'm inherently very goofy. And that is a compliment to myself. I take in high esteem being called goofy. But that's kind of like how it is with that. I do know that I really want to do a video about Limbus Company, and I wouldn't say like a video essay. I don't think I want to call it that. How do I say this? I want to gush about Limbus Company mainly. And I think I want to try to do that for sure. I don't know when I'd ever do that, but I think that's a video I want to try making at one point. And I don't know if many of you know this, but I am actually very, like, seasoned. I don't want to say talented, because that sounds a little bit like Oh, yes. I am a... Oh, yes. I am a very posh individual who knows how to edit. It's like... I have, like... Oh. Hello, Cagliostro. Welcome to the stream. I know... Would that happen to be inspired by a character from Grand Blue Fantasy? I'm kind of curious. Or is that based off of something else? I could be incorrect in thinking. But thank you for the subscription, if you did. Or if you did subscribe. I appreciate any newcomer. I do ramble about some things. That's also a thing I want to do. I kind of always wanted to touch Grand Blue Fantasy a little bit. That has always been a game I always wanted to, theoretically get to. Will I on stream? Maybe, maybe not. I do know that I wanted to stream Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. It is? Nailed it. But I always wanted to stream Grand Blue Fantasy Versus as well. Because, again, well, both the gacha game, Grand Blue Fantasy, and then also stream the fighting game because, I do a lot of, like, streams that aren't fighting game related, but I do like fighting games, even though last time I played a fight game was, several months ago. When was the last fighting game I played? It might have been just me booting up Grand Blue recently, just for funsies. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, I should say. But that's always been, like, an interest of mine. Also because, how do I say this? As I assume some of you may tell from my VTuber avatar, I lack a little bit of the Final Fantasy games. I'm a little bit of a fan of the Final Fantasy games. I don't know if you can tell. Okay, I'm gonna forego that bit about me being a little bit smarmy about, like, what is obvious. But also I want to play more Final Fantasy games too. I definitely want to play more RPG games, for sure. Or more. Well, I say RPG, and I don't want people to misconstrue that a little bit. Like, I definitely want to play Final Fantasy X on stream. And Final Fantasy, not 11, 12? Yeah, it's 12. 11's also the MMO. I do want to play those two games. Particularly for, number one, Final Fantasy X is a weird game because I remember when I was growing up, I watched, like, one YouTube reviewer, and they're like, this is the worst Final Fantasy, and I was like, oh, that's the worst Final Fantasy. And get into, like, 2020, I start talking to more people, and I'm like, so Final Fantasy X is, like, a bad Final Fantasy, right? And I just get the... Hold on, let me set up a bit. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's like, oh, I thought it was, like, considered the worst, like, one of the bad Final Fantasies. Come to my knowledge, it's actually considered one of the better ones. And I'm like, oh. Well, now I gotta play that game to find out for myself, don't I? So, yeah, and also, Final Fantasy 11, or not 11, that's the MMO. Final Fantasy 12 is also a Final Fantasy I want to touch as well, because I know next to nothing about it. And, like, any Final Fantasy I know nothing about, like, I end up really, really enjoying. Like, I did, maybe, like, a year ago, finish, a playthrough of Final Fantasy IX, and it was like, damn, this is, like, one of my favorite games of all time now. Final Fantasy IX is really great. There's also, me wanting to get to the SMT games. For sure. Final Fantasy X is actually your favorite? I hear that a lot from people. Like, again, like, I grew up watching a content creator who, like, absolutely hated Final Fantasy X. And then I had, like, more of my friends, like, come by and talk. And again, like, it's like, oh, well, yeah, see. But I do want to play Final Fantasy X. I want to give it a fair shake. And I want to go through it. Because I feel like maybe it is one of those Final Fantasies where I actually might enjoy it a lot. For sure. So that is going to be a future thing that I will be doing. For sure. I do know that I feel a little bit bad because I did kind of drop a playthrough of like Final Fantasy. Which one was it? I think it was 4. Final Fantasy 4. Yeah, it was Final Fantasy 4. I ended up accidentally stopping that playthrough. I kind of feel a little bit bad about that. So maybe one day I might go back to that, but we'll see. That is definitely there for something on the list to do. But I will say in addition to Final Fantasy games, in terms of like the RPGs for sure, the Raito remaster's coming out, and I don't know if you all know this, but I think I'm a little fan of some SMT stuff that I always try to get into, but it's always failed a little bit. But Raito Kuzunoha 1 was the game that I kind of got like almost to like a halfway point. It was really fun. I enjoyed it. Raito was just like a really fun experience, and I do want to play that eventually, especially the remaster. How do I say this? I was so flabbergasted because like it was at the Nintendo Direct, and I heard nothing about it, and I was like, why didn't I hear anything about this? This is hype shit. I'm ready for Raito Kuzunoha remaster. And then it's like, well, it got leaked, and I go, but like this they say a remaster. This shit looks like a remake. Well, remake, there's different philosophies behind that, isn't there? A little bit too. I guess the remaster would be more like in the vein of like, this is the same game, but like, you know, fancied up a little bit. And that's perfectly fine. And then a remake kind of implies like you're redoing things, but like, you know, I feel like remake and remaster got complicated around like the time people started really pumping them out. But besides the point, trailing off there, I do know that personally for me, I do enjoy myself a good bit of Final Fantasy and some SMT stuff. Also SMT. I also have SMT3, and I never finished that. And I really want to, because SMT3 was one of the mainline SMTs that I've been really interested in. Because, like, again, like, how do I say this? SMT presentation that isn't just Persona has always been fascinating to me. Not to say that Persona's never had, like, style. It always has. Like, full background on, like, my RPG, I guess, more... would you still call it JRPG? I guess just like, Japanese developed games like that. It's always been, I started off with Persona 5, like Persona 5 was the first ever, right? That's how long in my life that I went without playing a like traditional RPG like that, you know? Like I was like in college and I was like, Persona 5, this new Persona 5 game, this looks kind of neat. I hear this YouTube channel that I follow named Best Friends, you know, recommend it, and I played it, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. It really opened my mind to like trying some new stuff, right? I hope people don't think I'm like eons old now that I brought up like when I was in college Persona 5 came out, though. Because I'm not that old. I'm not even 30 yet. I'm not 30 yet, okay? I'm not old. I'm not old. I am not a fossil. But that's definitely some things I want to get into, for sure. But yeah, like, I guess that's kind of the things I kind of want to get into later on with stuff. But I do have plans for stuff, and I hope that, you know, even if you can't, like, stick around or stay, hopefully you'll come by to the VODs, because... Oh yeah, I should probably bring up the VOD situation. So Twitch, like, extended their deadline for deleting everyone's VODs, actually, and it's really weird. So, I don't have to, you know, have a heart attack in the next couple of days, because all the VODs are going to disappear. But if you're on Twitch and watching, I should emphasize that, hey, I don't save the VODs there anymore, because on YouTube, the VODs get automatically saved. So you can go there and just watch the streams that I currently have nowadays. Now, for the most part, most of the VODs on, Twitch and YouTube, they are mostly there during my VTuber era. I say VTuber era, which is new. I will say, to be the most respectful about certain things, I picked a really weird time to be a VTuber and become one. And to be fair to me, I had mine in advance, and there's been, I think if you follow VTubing a little bit, I think you might have heard a recent shakeup in big VTubing stuff. And my only real, I guess I'll just be blunt about it. A certain big Hololive Ian VTuber is graduating, and while I won't speculate about anything, it is kind of crazy to hear about, like, you know, the recent, like, things going on in the VTuber scene when I just kind of entered in. The most I could say is that it does make me sad to hear that, but that's about it, really. You know, actually, I know no, I don't. Like, the truth is that it's a very sad thing to hear, and I hope that the VTuber in question is doing all right. And I hope everyone and their fans are doing okay as well, and everyone else. Because, like, it is. I had to tell my friend about this, and it's a little bit going into VTuber culture a little bit, but, like, the reason particularly why graduations are sad, even though some people know for a fact, well, it's not always the case, but some people always like, but they're gonna come back, is like, you're been in a rough spot. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's really sad to hear, like, the recent, you know, graduations going on, for sure. And I had to explain this to a friend, where it's like, the reason why this is sad, even though they might come back under a new alias, like, not that long after, is that they are effectively kind of like, it's kind of hard to describe. It's like moving to a new, like, I guess, like, set of, like, restrictions, and also the fact that they probably can't, you know, collab with the people that they want to, right? And while they can talk to them at any point, it's still, like, a very sad phenomenon that, like, have happened. And that's why it's sad. So while a VTuber who graduates might come back under a different alias, like, right away, it's still, like, sad. Because of additional things being, like, done. And purely, like, I'm talking purely, like, nothing that may have, like, happened to them in the company or, like, whatever type stuff. I'm not here to, like, speculate about, like, drama or anything. I'm just trying to describe, like, the reason why it's so sad. Yeah, like, you'll know they'll be fine and that sort of thing, but it's sad. Yeah, like, it's super sad. And it is something I had to describe to my good friend AC Denton. We run a tabletop, I don't run the tabletop. I'm a player at his tabletop game that he runs on Thursdays. And I had to explain to him, because he's not very too cultured, or not cultured. He's not informed about, like, how and why that's sad, because he's like, well, they come back eventually, right? And, you know, essentially repeating myself. But, like, I gotta say, that was something kind of crazy, because, like, when I heard about it, it was after I got done streaming Limbus Company, right? I go to Twitter, see that VTuber's trending, and go, oh, they're trending. And I look at the dedicated VTuber channel, and I just see, like, my friend, yeah, it just ain't. It's just kind of like, it changes. But, like, and I look over there, and I'm like, oh, that's a big, pardon my French, even though I cuss like a sailor sometimes. That's a big fucking deal. Like, she's a big VTuber. And all I can really say is that, like, it is sad to hear, and I hope that the fans and everyone around them uh, the best of luck. But like it is an interesting time, because like you know, I had technically debuted as a VTuber back in December. You know, and a month earlier, another big VTuber announced their graduation as well. And I'm like, oh boy. My friend jokingly called me the I forgot what it was called, but they made a joke about me coming in and then this happening. I know it's a joke, but you know. But yeah, I do think that like, I do think the way VTubing has kind of like evolved in like the past, like, I'm gonna change the song real quick. Actually, hold up. I'm gonna get a little bit of brain rot from this song consistently playing. I do know that personally, for me, that VTubing kind of feels like it's evolved to be a bit more, how do I say this, a bit more different than like back in like 2020 nowadays, because like we got a lot more indies now that I think kind of hit big mainstream, like, and I feel like that kind of changes things a little bit, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, and that's kind of also why I became a VTuber, because like, I guess in my mind, how I always viewed VTubing was like, it was kind of more of an extension of like a little bit of like, might have been an incorrect look at the time, but like maybe a little bit of like an extension of like idol culture a little bit at the time, which like, you know, there's certain things like that, but I feel like in 5 years in the progression that like VTubing's gotten bigger and bigger, I feel like it's kind of included more things to be like a little bit of a broader like topic about like VTubing. Like, don't get me wrong, there are certain things that I want to do that are very traditional to VTubing. I just got to get out of my shell and face the music, maybe quite literally. Also, spend more than a week taking practice singing and such. But outside of that, like, it feels like we're like, it feels like a natural evolution. Back then, only company VTubers would reach traction. Now the indie scene is way stronger and has a lot of big names in it. That is true. That's actually super true. Now, like, it feels like with indies kind of being able to take off on their own, it does feel like there's more, like, VTubers finding success being indie. And, like, not to say that, like, you know, big companies don't help as much anymore. They really, really do. Like, how do I say this? I have heard several VTubers, or not several, I've been told about VTubers who have been like, listen, I would still be doing this even nowadays, but thank God I got, like, a company to pick me up, right? And not to say, like, you know, like, oh, that's perfect. There's always some caveats, like, would you rather grow it naturally through, like, your own work and, like, owning everything? Or do you want to go with, like, a company that can help you, like, reach a little bit more traction, a little bit more, because they can put more, I guess, a little bit more muscle into it? Not to say, like, that's entirely the reason why some VTubers make it big. But, like, it does help kind of shine a spotlight on you when you kind of need it sometimes. And for sure, that's definitely, like, something I can kind of see and feel when it comes to VTubing. Although, for me, I don't know if I'd ever be picked up by a company, if I think about it for myself. It's kind of hard, because it's like, I like kind of just building my own thing. And, like, again, with some of these companies, how do I say this? A company being able to also coast, because like there was a good bit of time, I don't remember when exactly, when a bunch of like VTuber companies started going like down, and they started like effectively going out of commission, you know. And some of them were probably great to their talent, and they just didn't, like, they couldn't afford to keep going. It is also kind of a sad thing to hear as well. But I guess that's like another thing that, like, when you're I guess it's a little less complicated when you're an indie to like think about like, you know, do I own my content? Also, from my understanding, some companies it's like, can I stream this game? Can I stream this? No, that's gonna get them pissed at us. All right, that could be also a reason why I may avoid being in, you know, a big company. But you know, like at the end of the day, it kind of depends on what your flavor is as well. I do really like being able to how do I say this? Because it's like I've always liked the VTuber culture, and I wouldn't say that I'm like, you know, the tourist, but I do enjoy the aspect of VTubing of having this like presentation that you can show people, and it doesn't have like, you know, the negative connotation that let's say a Ransona has, but like I like having a virtual avatar I can use to represent myself, even though that I'm if I were to change, even though future editions or I may make to myself, or you know, new models that I may preview or debut, might as well just have my fucking face on. I have a weird tendency where if I make like an avatar, I accidentally just give him my like face anyway. But but there's also the thing where some VTubers want to be anonymous as well, and you know, not to throw shade at certain people who are like, you know, I don't believe this person is going through the trials of what they say, but I think that it's kind of shitty that you like, you kind of accuse someone of lying about shit they go through. I'm just saying, like, if someone talks about how they have a bunch of like medical problems, and your instant like response to that is, well, if you don't show me anything, I don't believe you. It's a little bit, it's more than a little bit fucked up. I think that it is fair. I'm more willing to believe someone even if they don't show me that they have conditions that they have to go through every day, and various things about that. That's old news. I'm not a VTuber drama person. But I do think that like, also I don't really like the negative rap VTubers get. I think it's silly. I think it's like, oh, you're feeding into this weird esoteric like subgenre of stuff, and I'm not a big fan of it, right? And there's this weird subculture of people who are like, man, I can't believe this person. The bar is way higher for companies now. Lots of people doing VTubing. Last time I heard, they get hundreds, if not thousands, submissions during auditions. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I hear that. I mean, like, to be frank, I have auditioned for VTuber agencies as well. I only did it once though, and then the reason why I feel fine saying that is because I did not get accepted in, and the thing for that is kind of rolled out on my end. I will not like reveal who I tried out for, but I did try out for a VTuber agency like 2 years ago, I think. So kind of to show you, me debuting as an indie was kind of like little bit like eventually was gonna happen. For sure. But yeah, it's just like I feel like VTubing gets like a weird negative rap from some people, and I don't really like it. It's like, oh, you don't show my face? Oh, why is this VTuber like the top of like Twitch chat or charts? This isn't fair. And I'm like, why is it not fair? And it's like they come up with the worst examples of it, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think I'm gonna make a bold claim here. Bold, I know, daring this VTuber will. I think VTubing is the most like creatively rich and expressive new form that has come to YouTube, especially when you compare some of a lot of the stuff on YouTube. and how I hate to say this. Sometimes I do YouTube shorts. Sometimes it's a little bit soul crushing. Like, I made this cute little animation. Wow, only a dislike. Cool. But like, VTubing's the thing where it's like, I really love how people like express themselves through their like avatar, and it's been like the most like it's something that like, you know, I worry about when I see like a bunch of like trends in YouTube, and I don't like, you know, like, again, the AI generated slop that is in like the shorts, where it's like an AI is subtitling a big like popular show like House MD, and you can tell because then none of the subtitles match correctly, and they're just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna play a random, yeah, that man said fuck, but in actuality he said yuck. You know, so like when VTubing is like really cool. I also thought, when I know it has had roots from like 2016 with I completely forgot her name. An AI reading an AI generated script of a nonsense recipe. Dude, I'm really scared about AI generated recipes. Dude, like, not to say like, oh, it's gonna kill us all, but it's like, man, I'm gonna wake up one day and my mother, not knowing the internet's just gonna be like, Joshua, I have envisioned an ingenious recipe, and I go, Mom, this was designed by AI. What are you talking about? You mixed corn and like sour cream into a bowl and then added cornflakes. This is not brilliant eating. Kizuna AI? Yeah, her. Neurosama's fine. At least I would like to think so. Well, I shouldn't be the arbiter of this. From my understanding, it's not as much. I wouldn't say like that's the one where it's like, I don't know how to approach that. I think it's fine for the most part, considering the fact that it's not necessarily stealing. Corn, sour cream, ground sounds like something your mom would make. Ground beef. Damn! Threw my mom's cooking under the rug on stream. But AI streamers like Neurosama, I think, again, it depends, but it's kind of, I hate being the arbiter on that stuff. But like, for sure, I think that there's differences and things we can discuss there. Am I the individual to do it? No, but I think, like, again, like the AI slop, I could probably comment on and saying like, you know, I think it's not great to walk in and then see like, you know, the 15th Quibble cop like AI slop that person's turned out. But like, you know, things like that, that's like more in the gray area. And also, there's more to it than like that, so I can't commentate on that relatively much. But I do think that VTubing has a like very, like, how do I say this? VTubing's definitely, and I can't sing enough praises, is very, very much a thing that I appreciate and enjoy, like, it catching on and evolving. And I guess, like, she grows entirely from her chat interactions guided by her creator, so she doesn't become like a weird racist like a lot of unmoderated AI chat models become. Yeah, that's true. God knows Microsoft tried that once, and boy oh boy, did that AI bot start fucking quoting Mein Kampf randomly. Dude, I was at my old retail job, and I was watching a video when I heard about, like, wait, what happened? And it was like, oh yeah, so Microsoft tried that. And then that AI fucking bot that Microsoft made immediately just started getting racist, and it's like, what? And they're like, dude, like, some of that shit's, like, fucking wild. So, yeah, I would say that, like, everything, like, again, I don't want to necessarily, like, I've been kind of dancing around it, but, like, I guess, like, you know, if you know, the VTuber community sees this, I'm not trying to, like, call out anyone, but, like, you know, streamers like Neurosama, like, I think those streamers are fine because they grow from their, again, like a Sim said in chat, they grow from, like, their interactions, and it isn't, you know, unmoderated, so it's fine, and, like, that's perfectly fine. There's no shade towards any of them, but, like, again, that's just kind of, like, my viewpoint. You know, it's really funny. I'm touching my forehead. It looks like I'm touching my eyes. Yeah, that is also a thing too, where it's like, I don't want to necessarily comment on that kind of stuff necessarily, not because I want to avoid it, but, like, it's also because I also don't watch Neurosama that much. I would like to assume that they are doing it very ethically and the very cool, like, and hopefully if they ever see me talk about this, they're not like, huh, who's this random fuck talking shit about me? I'm talking no shit. I'm being honest. I only talk shit about people who are being awful human beings to others, or just being awful. I think that you should treat others with respect. You know, but for sure, and maybe there might be some stuff that comes out that I might not know about. I won't necessarily be the arbiter of it. But yeah, no, I can't sing enough praises for the VTubing subculture, because it is mostly, for the most part, I think, very beneficial. And how do I describe it? It's nice to kind of, like, have it grow to this, like, massive degree of, like, where indies can develop on their own, and that people can express themselves through, like, avatars and have ways that they can be themselves in front of people, because sometimes they're self-conscious about how they look. I know I'm certainly self-conscious about how I look. You know, and I'm kind of glad that I could kind of express myself by moving my hands around. Yeah, I hope what I said didn't necessarily upset anyone. I do hope so, because I do worry about some people maybe misunderstanding that I may have been talking more negative about an individual than, like, maybe I actually mean. You get me? But yeah, that's how I feel. I know that I definitely have, like, a bit of a worry, because some people really like my VTuber model. I'm gonna feel weird when I, like, debut, like, a 2.0, because it's, like, not gonna radically change things. Well, I have some ideas, but, like, I know the Black Mage aesthetic is going to stay around for a good while. And especially, like, how I present this stuff. I do know that I want to evolve it a bit. Can I be honest about something? I have done a lot more 3D modeling since I've made, well, a bit more 3D modeling, ever since I made this model here. Ooh. So, like, I'm looking at all the imperfections, and I guess this is a good way to kind of gauge yourself as an artist, where it's like, I could have done a lot of things better with this model. And it shows that I'm kind of growing as an create, like, a 3D modeler a bit. And it's like, I can improve on some things here. So, like, I'm really excited to, like, show off more, like, stuff. So I guess this is also a way of me saying, hey, I will eventually have a 2.0 debut. That will happen sometime in the future, I promise. Fingers crossed. Can I cross my fingers, actually? Hold on. Yo! Oh my god! I can! Kind of. No, wait. I don't think I can. Does it look like I'm yeah, I'm crossing my fingers. Yeah! But yeah, if any big VTuber so happens to come across my clips, hi, I hope what I said didn't offend you. If it did, I apologize. Or anyone mentioned. But nah, that's kind of like how I feel about stuff. Damn, I've been chatting for like an hour straight. I forget that I can yap my, like, yap till the cows come home. Is that an expression? I don't know. Besides the point. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of like what I wanted to share here. I didn't really have anything planned else. I do know that let me see. Let me think here. I have some other things that I do want to talk about, besides maybe doing a Limbus Company video. It's like, how do I say this? I kind of want to do stuff in my own way, because, like, how do I say this? Jacksepticeye talked about this recently. And I'm not actually a Jacksepticeye fan, but I actually really respect what he has to say about the YouTube scene. Because to a certain degree, I kind of, like, agree with some of it. And of course, there's the thing he said about a certain YouTuber that I don't think is necessarily that far off, but, you know, apparently that was a joke. I don't really have much stake in that part, but he brought up and talked about how, like, there was a lot of things where it's like a lot of things in YouTube seem to be like kind of unifying in a certain way, and like, but not in a good way. Like, it's becoming the samey. Like, certain things edit become kind of very similar. People are like not necessarily doing it like as much differently. And I guess for me, it's like I wanted to, like, I took that to heart because I really want to try it my own way. I want to try, like, adding my own spin on how I present things, right? And for sure, I will 100% try that. I think the hard part is that, like, how do I say this? When I'm adding my own spin to things, it's hard to kind of not take a little bit from what you watch. Because I'm a guy who sat here watching YouTube from, like, the grand old year of 2008. I swear to God, I am not above the age 30, nor am I under the age 30. I'm not old. And just kind of, like, sitting here being like, I should probably change the music real quick. Let me change the music a bit. Actually, I probably shouldn't play that music. There we go. Here, I'll just use this. Hello, Chubby Fox. I'll just, like, randomly click here. But, with how I feel about certain things about YouTube, there is some fear of, like, how do I describe it? Of everything kind of feeling the same and, like, various things like that. And the only thing that I'm really ever scared of in YouTube is, I guess, not having my stuff be... How do I describe this? not being watched, but not in the sense of like, I want everyone to see this. Like, even if a video has 1 view, I appreciate it. I like sharing stuff, and that was like one of my greatest joys of like, because I used to be a modder for DMC5. I made a bunch of mods for DMC5, and I think one of the things that made me really happy was just seeing people like enjoy the things that I make. So I think when I make something, I always try to make it for like myself, because you know, I think when you're doing YouTube as like a passion project, that's something you should do for yourself. Do what you want to, make what you want. But like, it does make me happy to see people kind of like my stuff. And that's a very sweet point to end on, actually. I'm gonna be real, like, I was like, maybe I should go a little bit longer, but I feel like I've gone long enough. Anyways, I did talk about some stuff that I hope were a little bit... It's a little bit... I don't know if they're, like, massively taboo in the VTubing community, but if I will say that's, like, if I did something, said something wrong, or maybe if someone felt like I was bad-mouthing them, I wasn't. The only real bad people, or, sorry, the only real bad-mouthing I did was certain people that were, like, making an argument against someone who, they were making an argument against someone who suffers from medical problems, and they just said, well, I don't believe you, and you're probably lying because you have an anime as their avatar, and it's like, that's fucked, in my opinion. It's old news, I should probably not talk about it, but I do apologize if I have offended anything. I kind of talked very liberally here, but do realize that I do say some stupid shit sometimes, and if I did say something incorrect or wrong, or that maybe I'm kind of fucked up for me to bring it up, I do apologize. Hope that doesn't offend any of y'all, and if it does, genuinely reach out and tell me, and let me know, so I can improve as an individual. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the stream. I was gonna think about maybe playing a game, but I think this is a great place to end the stream. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my ramblings. Some of you may have, and I appreciate it if you do. I thank you all for coming by. I will be streaming more Limbus Company Friday. I'll take a semi-day off on Thursday, tomorrow, and Saturday. The weekend's unfortunately busy for me, so I won't be able to stream. Anyways, I hope you all the best, and again, reach out if I said something wrong, and hopefully I can improve from that. Anyways, I hope you all are doing okay. Tomorrow isn't a day off, it's AC's thing. Yeah, but I don't have to worry about the stream. I can, like, I just do audio checks, though. Like, doing audio checks is real easy when I'm, like, in chat having to check. Well, actually, it can be a little bit of a pain, but it's fine. So, you know, I don't have to worry about the technical stuff. I gotta tell AC to plug his shit on social media more. I swear to God. I don't know why I went something there. Anyways, I'm distracting now. I'm distracting. Not you, chat. I don't get distracted. I distract you. You. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed my rambles. Hopefully, yeah. Bye bye.